Hello, this is B.V. Ramana, teacher in English. In this video, I would like to share with you the topic Classroom English for types of questions in the classroom. Well, here are the different types of questions. First one is lower order questions. These questions are asked to test the surface level of understanding of the students with respect to a text. Generally, these questions are asked during the process of reading, that is, skimming of the text. Here are some of the questions which can be included in this category. They are close-ended questions, factual questions, main idea questions. And the second type of questions, higher order questions. These questions are asked to test the deeper level, the in-depth understanding of the students as to the text. These questions are generally asked during the reading process, the scanning of the text. Here are some of the questions which can be included in this category. They are open-ended questions, inferential questions, analytical questions, cause and consequence questions, reflective questions, application questions, predictive questions, tone questions, referential questions, passage structure questions, and bouncing questions. Right. Now the main idea questions. Initially, we ask the students to go through the passage quickly to have an overview. Once the task is over, these questions are asked. These questions include: what is the main point of the passage? What is the theme of the passage? What is the paragraph about? What is the central point of the paragraph? These are the main idea questions. Now, another type of questions, close-ended questions. For these questions, there is only one specific answer. That means whenever these questions are put, we get the same answer from all the students. So these questions are called close-ended questions. Who entered the forest? The answer will be the jackal. Whoever we ask, the same answer we will get. Where did the jackal enter? The forest. That will be the answer. Only one answer. Was jackal dangerous? Only one answer there is. Yes. Like this, whenever we put these questions, we will get only one single answer. There is no other answer we can expect from the children. So we expect the same answer from all the students. For this, the answer is very short. Generally, yes or no questions, multiple choice questions, quiz questions, GK questions, and fill in the blank questions will be the some of examples for this type of questions. Now let us have another type of question, that is factual or direct question. We get the answers for these questions direct from the given text. Example: who entered the forest? The answer is a jackal. Here we get the answer for this question direct from the text. Where did the jackal enter? The answer is the forest. Here also the answer for this question we can get direct from the given text. What was the jackal like? Here we get the answer for this question direct from the text, that is dirty, dangerous, and very cunning. And whose minds did Jackal poison? Here also we get the answer for this question direct from the text, that is animals. When did the animals live together? Here for this question also we get the answer direct from the text, that is earlier. Why did the animals begin suspecting one another? Here also we get the answer for this question direct from the text, that is the jackal poisoned the minds of the animals. In this way, when we get the answers for some questions direct from the given text, those questions are called factual questions or direct questions. Now another type of questions, open-ended questions. For these questions, there is a possibility of more than one answer. That means we don't have one specific answer for these questions. So for some questions, when we have more than one answer, that means when we can say more than one answer for some questions, those questions are called open-ended questions. Generally, these questions improve the imaginative capabilities of the students. For example, why is jackal considered dangerous? Here we can expect more than one answer. Why do people poison the minds of the others? For this one also we can have different answers. That means we can have the more than one answer. And next one, when do people live happily? For this question also we will have different answers from the different students. Well, now another type of questions, they are inferential questions. The answers for these questions are not readily available in the text. Here, the reader uses the facts of the text as evidence, and on the basis of this evidence, he will derive some conclusions. So, these questions are called inferential questions because for answers of these questions, we have to make use of the facts of the text as evidence and get the conclusions. So these questions are called inferential questions. Example, yesterday the sky was black and cloudy. Cool wind blowing. The sunlight faded. My mother asked me to come in. So if you ask the question, what is going to happen? The answer for this question is not readily available in the passage. We have to conclude the answer on the basis of the facts given in the text. That means yesterday the sky was black and it was cloudy. There was a cool wind and sunlight faded. From these things are used as evidence, and we can conclude from these lines that the rain is going to fall. So the answer we get is not readily found in the text. Just we have to get and derive the answer on the basis of the evidence given in the text. The evidence is here. The sky was black, cloudy, cool wind, sun faded. From this evidence, we can easily conclude the fact that it is going to rain. These kind of questions are called inferential questions. Look at one more example. Madhu planted a tree 45 years ago. It is still giving him the fruit. If you ask the question, is he still alive? There is no direct answer from the text. We have to conclude from the lines given. That means we have to make use of those lines given as evidence. On the basis of it, we have to conclude the answer. So from these lines, it is still giving him the fruit means he is still alive. So we say the answer yes. But this answer is not directly found. It's not taken direct from the text. It is not directly found in the text. So we have to get this answer from the text given, taking the text as evidence. So these questions are called inferential questions. Right. Now, analytical questions. These questions help the learners break the information into parts to explore the connections. Here, the learners tend to use outside information and apply it to the facts and ideas in the passage. Here are some of examples that are related to analytical questions. Why are jackals considered cunning? Here, the answer for this one may not be found in the passage, and the learner may get the information from outside and apply it to the facts and ideas in the passage. And some more questions. Why did animals change when their minds are poisoned? And how else might animals have behaved when they suspected one against others? And the last question, which event could not have happened? To answer these questions, he has to break the information into parts and explore the connection between those parts, and he can get the answer. So in this way, we can ask the analytical questions. Another type of questions are application questions. Here, the students are expected to apply and relate the facts of the text to the situations of their life, to different situations of their life. That means we are taking the children through these questions from text to their life. Example, have you ever come across the cunning people? So here we are taking the children from text to their life situations. And how should we behave with such cunning people in our real life? Here also we are taking the children from text to their real life. And what happens in our lives when we begin suspecting one another? Here also we expect the answers from the children using these facts of the text in their real life situations. Have you ever suspected any person? Why not? Here also we expect the answer from the children after applying the facts of the text to their real life situations. In this way, through these application questions, we expect the children to take the facts to their real life situations. I mean, we move the thoughts of the children from the text to their real life situations. How far these facts are applicable and applied in their real life, we will see through these application questions. Now another set of questions, cause and consequence questions. Through these questions, the students know from the text what made something happen and what happened as a result of the cause. Here they will get the answers from the text itself. What happened when the animals lived together? They will search the answer from the text and they will come out with the answers. What would happen if the jackal had not entered the forest? Why did animals started to put up boundaries and move about individually? Why did the animals begin suspecting one another? Now another set of questions, that is reflective questions. Here these questions help the students introspect and form opinions about the facts of the text. Example, do you support that we can live happily if we live together? How would you feel if you were in the animal's place when the jackal started hunting the smaller animals? The jackal was cunning. Do you agree to it? Do you think the change in one's behavior is common when we listen to the poisoning words of the others? What opinion do you form about the animals after reading the passage? These are the questions which demand the opinions, which asks the opinions from the students. So these questions are called reflective questions. So reflective questions help the students introspect and form opinions about the facts of the text. Now another set of questions are referential questions. These questions ask the students to refer to the persons and words and their meanings. Example, which three words in the paragraph 1 describe the jackal? So here the students are expected to go through the text and refer and develop the reference skills to get the answers. Whom does the word they refer to in the paragraph 2? Here, which word in the para 2 gives the close meaning of the word separately? Who is the speaker of the words? These are some of the questions that belong to referential questions. Well, now another set of questions, tone questions. Here, these questions help us identify the attitude, sentiment of the author towards the subject matter or characters or incidents. These tones may be factual. For example, if the passage is full of information and facts, then the passage is said to be in factual tone, like that, sarcastic, humanistic, and cynical, and ethical. Some ethical values are there in the passage. We can say that the passage is said to be in ethical tone. And next, critical. Critical means whenever the author is explaining the pros and cons of a subject matter, then we can say that the passage is said to be in critical. Like that, whenever we get humor by reading the passage, then we can say that the passage is in humorous tone. Like this, like that, romantic. Whenever the subject matter takes us into the world of fanciful, then we can say that the subject matter is said to be in romantic tone. And dogmatic, beliefs and rules and regulations are there, and we can say that the subject matter is dogmatic. And if sometimes the subject matter favors somebody else, for example, one subject matter favors the females, that means women, then the subject matter is considered to be the biased tone. Like that, the tones may be emotional, mysterious, sad, angry, happy, nostalgic. Here, whenever the subject matter tells about the past events, then we can say that the tone is said to be in nostalgic. And sympathetic, optimistic, serious, and ironic. These are some of the tones. Here, the common questions are: what is the attitude of the author towards the animals in the passage? And what is the tone of the author in the passage? Maybe ethical. What is the attitude of the author towards the jackal? In this way, we can ask the tone questions. Now another set of questions, that is predictive questions. Here, these questions help the students predict upcoming information from a given fact in the text. What do you think is going to happen next? Jackal, which was cunning, entered the forest. What might happen next? Look at the title. Tell what might happen in the story. What clues helped you predict? The animals began suspecting one another. What might happen next? How far are your predictions accurate? In what way is your prediction different from the facts you have read? In this way, we can ask the predictive questions. Now another set of questions are bouncing questions. These questions are asked to redirect the ideas to another to get their opinion in a clear-cut way. Ramu, can you elaborate on Srinu's answer? What do you think of Raju's answer? Is it right? How can you combine all these answers into one single answer? Ravi, how can you develop the Mohan's answer to have more clarity? Now, the paragraph structure questions. These questions help the learners identify the relationship between paragraphs of the passage. Examples: which paragraph gives the cause of changing the minds of the animals? Which paragraph describes Jekyll best? Which paragraph is the turning point for the life misery of the animals? And how does the para 1 function in relation to second one? In this way, we can ask the paragraph structure questions. To sum up, close-ended questions means there is only one specific answer for these questions. Whereas open-ended questions means we have more than one answer for these questions. In case of close-ended questions, whenever they are put, we expect the same answer from all the students. Whereas in case of open-ended questions, we can expect different answers from the students. Factual questions. The answers for these questions can be found direct from the text content. Whereas in case of inferential questions, the answers for these questions are not readily available in the text. We have to make use of the facts of the text as evidence, and we have to derive some conclusions from them. That means here we infer the facts from the given facts. Application questions. In case of these questions, we take the children from the facts of the text to their real life situations. Whereas in case of analytical questions, we take the information from outside and apply that information to the facts of the text and analyze the situations. And reflective questions. Here, we ask the students to give their opinions about the facts of the text. And in case of referential questions, we ask the students to refer the persons, events, and other things in the text consent. Lower order questions. These questions are asked to test the superficial knowledge, I mean the overall understanding of the students with respect to the text. Generally, these questions are asked during the process of, the skimming of the text. Higher order questions are the questions which are asked to test the in-depth understanding of the children, and these questions are asked during the process of the scanning of the text. Well friends, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, tapping subscribe button on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.